Yeah, so man, I really wish we could wrap up this discussion, but I feel like as we get, closer and closer to the season finale, each and every week is going to get worse. Talking about Fatima, I mean, I've already done a video about her being the biggest hypocrite, how she solidified herself in that position. But, of course, I want to talk about the lack of accountability here. And as I keep saying over and over again, go to my Sistas playlist and go to the section about season 5 because I go in on Fatima during that season because Tyler just wrote her as a non apologetic, non accountable, just just to be the worst. She was the worst in season 5, and now her behavior in Zatima season 3 is putting her back to that same level of just I can't stand her behind. It's always Zach who has to learn a lesson. It's always Zach who needs to apologize. It's always Zach who needs to learn how to grow up, to control his anger, to not lash out. Yet, to my recollection, when it comes to when we look at both series as a whole, who has pulled out guns and knives on people more in the relationship? That's Fatima. Now, obviously, I think one of the times I give her extreme grace because I understand completely why she did what she did was roll up in the parking garage with her gun to protect Andy when she was being jumped by Jasmine and her girls. Absolutely makes sense. What then her always carrying around that duffel bag or pulling knives on people like Gary or baseball bats. Yeah, that's right. Fatima, she gets away with it because when I think about the majority of the fans who usually come after me, it's usually females who see themselves in Fatima because Fatima is the embodiment or the personification of things that they wish they could do. Yet they don't because they, have common sense or they realize that their actions in the real world have consequences that Fatima doesn't deal with in the television world. Slapping Hayden in the office. Oh, I know most of you all have, co-workers or superiors, whether it be managers or CEOs that you'd love to slap in the face because they're assholes. But guess what? If you do, you'd probably get fired. Then when it comes to pulling knives on people, oh, who hasn't wanted to stab somebody or slit their throat for having a sharp tongue? You know not to do it because you'll get arrested. And the list goes on and on. But I think what really killed Fatima for me, it wasn't just in Sister Season 5, but it was each and every time. Well, Season 5 was when it truly started, but it's each and every time that Tyler opted to just let her get away due to the power of plot armor. The power of plot armor. It allows her to just get out of situations where she should be arrested or fired or dumped. But they choose not to and instead always point the finger at Zach. And then he has to be the one to apologize or make things right. And then Fatima just keeps going. It makes no sense to me. I mean, their relationship used to be almost like the system of the government where it's checks and balances. Where, let's say one of them isn't necessarily pulling their weight emotionally in the relationship. And then the other person checks in order to balance things out. Sometimes it's Zach, sometimes it's Fatima. But now it just basically is a system where it's a you do what I say, but not as I do. And I can't really remember the last time. Well, actually, I do. It was in season 2 of Zatima, where you have Fatima checking in with Zach. I mean, yeah, there's a lot on their plate now with Michael at the house, Fatima being pregnant, Fatima being in law school, and then in Zatima, he just lost his mom and everything. But I miss those moments where we just had a quiet scene between these two, and it's like, hey, how you doing? I mean, this happened a lot in Sister Season 6, where Zach would just, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because at that season, I feel like that was the last good season of Zach and Fatima. Obviously, it started off rough with the whole Zach's reaction to the salon fire thing. But as the season went on, their roles in the season became more about, getting Michael out of his situation with Heather. But yeah, Fatima has not been held accountable for anything since I think when Hayden got her arrested, rightfully so, after she took that baseball bat and tore up his house and car. I think now we're seeing a little bit of accountability in Sisters where Fatima's actions are getting her in hot water, like going after Gary last season. Robin has photos to make it seem like she could be the person that stabbed him. Now her job is a living hell because Hayden is her boss. And that's why I kind of like Sisters a little bit more now, because now Fatima's going to have to rethink the way she handles things. Hence why her and Zach are like private eyes trying to figure out who really stabbed Gary. But in Zatima, she tore up Deja's apartment. Nothing. Deja said she called the cops, but why haven't they showed up yet? At least to get Fatima, not just about arresting Zach. It's been, what, 2 days at this point? What's going on? Well, yeah, if Fatima was held more accountable and wasn't just, wagging her finger in a condescending way at Fatima when she's done a lot, if not worse, that's what will make this story more, better in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.